You have 3 voicemails.
Which I asked my mom many times as well, but she just said, "What are you talking about, stupid?"
What's the most meaningless thing that you gave?
A pen.
You gave someone a pen.
Unwrapped. That's if you invest in Bitcoin and then you can retire early.
Stop hyping it up.
Hello there.
Welcome to the show where we have the convos about Vietnam, you know.
Hello and welcome to Convo Comrades, a conversation with the community about Vietnam. We're back with Topical 2. Topical 2. Topical 2. Topical 2. Yeah. Yo. We're back with Topical 2. How are you feeling, Long?
Okay, on the beat. Yeah.
How are you feeling, Long?
I'm feeling great because it was your birthday yesterday.
Yo, yeah. I'm 21 years old, finally. Yes.
Happy birthday. That's a lie. Happy birthday.
How old am I?
I think, I'm just guessing here, 20. No, but it's impolite in Vietnamese culture to review the actual age.
Whoa.
I'm just gonna say late 20s. You're in your late
20s. That makes you 40 something. Does it?
No.
So for those who don't know, people tend to think that Long is older than I am. And there have been 2 separate accounts. Before I tell this story, okay? In Vietnam, whenever you call someone, whenever you address someone, you gotta have a title in front of their name. And it depends on their age, their relationship with you, as well as their gender. So for example, if you have a younger brother, you would call the younger brother Long. Right? And if someone is older than you, who's not related to you, then you would call, older brother or older sister, Hieu, or I don't know, Mai or something, right? And then when you go to uncles and aunties, oh my God, it's like so many different types. It's so complicated. So, the Vietnamese language is very diverse in that way. I once talked about my experience at Warwick University with my brother, and I referred to Long as Thang. And Thang is kind of like a very casual and, in a way, at times, rude way to address someone.
Yeah.
And normally that person would be younger than you. So I called him Thang Long. And my brother was shocked. My brother was like, whoa, hey, why you call him that? kind of like, that's so disrespectful. He's like, oh, he's 1 year younger than me. That's the first account. Second account, I once talked to my mother about, my experience at Warwick University again. We're just chit-chatting. And then I said, Thang Long. And then my mom said, wouldn't Uncle Long be disappointed?
But no, she didn't say uncle, right?
She did. She said, wouldn't Long be disappointed? Wouldn't he be an uncle or something? Which, it says a lot about Long's appearance. There you go.
Wait, in my defense, these comments are coming from your family, which, share the same gene and the same point of view.
So we have a specific way of looking at youth that's been passed down by generation.
Yes. So if you ask someone not from your family, they're gonna think differently.
Okay, I would love to speak to your brother or your mother and see how they view my age. Okay, well, we're talking about age. There you go.
That's it. So yeah, let's talk about age. How do you feel now? Being 1 year older at this stage.
Oh my God. That's a sensitive question. Do you know that?
But we're here to bust the sensitivity.
It's like this. I don't know, but ever since the early 20s, it used to be a period where I loved birthdays, right? Every time it was my birthday, I would be looking forward to it. And that tends to be in the teens and then the early 20s. But then since the early 20s, like 23, 24 onwards, when I started going to work, that's when I realized, holy shit, I am getting old. And that's scary to me. Yeah, since then, I no longer look forward to birthdays. What I tend to do is I tend to avoid and I tend to stop thinking about birthdays.
Yeah.
And that's more of the mentality. And as you grow older, right, you try to find milestones to tell yourself, holy shit, you're getting old. So 22, 23, that's when, you start your first, job out of school. You're scared, right? 25, you're like, oh my God, that's like a quarter of a century. I'm a quarter of a century old. And then 28, you're like, oh my God, 29 is the last year that you can actually be in the 20s. And now that you're 29, you're like, oh my God, it is the last year. And then next year, you're starting on your 30s, which is absolutely frightening.
Yeah, there is a transitioning period, right? Like you said, we were happy once, teens. I remember when I was a teenager, I can't wait to get older. I can't wait to make money. I'm tired of school. I want to, because, in Vietnamese household, especially my mom, we always talk about, oh, yeah, you have to study. I have to go make money now. And then I said to myself, what's making money? I want to do that. I don't want to go to study.
So your mom told you from the very beginning, get your ass out of the house and start making money.
No, she pushed me to study so she can make money. And in my mind, I thought,
wait, what?
Making money.
Wait, sorry. You're going to have to clarify this because some people are going to misinterpret that. She's pushing you to study so that she can make money out of you, or she can go...
No. So she can go out and make money.
What slave? Make me some money.
So she told me to concentrate on my study and don't bother her. So she can make money.
You're a hindrance.
Yeah. So then I thought, okay, I want to do that making money too, because that sounds fun. And so I can't...
That was Lan in the background, Long's fiance.
Yeah, she was...
trying to get you out of the house so she can make money.
She was sneezing, not screaming at me for not doing the dishes. Anyway, my mom was screaming at me. No. My mom was telling me.
I kind of understand how you're conflating the two images together, your mom and Lan.
Wait. Where was I? Yes. So I wanted to make money. I want to grow older fast. But comes 22, 25, like you said, the big milestone, and then I also realized, oh, okay, but I'm making money now, but this is not fun. This is not.
No one told you when you started the game. No one explained the rules.
This is not fun at all. Now I want to go back to school.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I do recall, like, back in school, you always think about people who have started work.
Yeah.
And people who are making a living, and people who can pay rent, and people who can buy stuff for themselves. And you just think, shit, I would love to get a job, right?
Yeah.
To make money, to have some sort of stable salary, and to be able to live independently.
Yeah.
Pros and cons.
I think part of the stress is also you have a high expectation of yourself. And also your family has certain expectation of you. And then if you don't meet it, you feel kind of, okay, I'm 25, I'm 30 years old now. I haven't met that expectation yet. I'm not that proud.
I have. I caught along completely off guard. Like when someone like tries to open their mouth to respond, but there's nothing coming out of their mouth. He's just like opening his mouth. They're trying to say something, but he couldn't say anything. That was his face. Anyway, no, on the point of expectations, do you think there's a huge expectation change when you're in your 20s compared to when you're in your 30s as you move to like being 30 years old now?
Definitely in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm. Such as?
The biggest thing I can think of is kids. 30 years old, you should now have one kid.
Wait, you should not have one kid?
You should now have at least one kid, right?
Uh-oh. I didn't get that memo.
So that's the Vietnamese mentality, which my mom has been telling me since last year.
Oh,
in preparation for 30, like Long, have you thought about having kids? Long.
I love this. It's kind of like It's kind of like a client deadline. There's a deadline by 30 years old. You got to work towards that. Make sure you get your deliverables done.
No, yeah, and I feel like my mom is the perfect person because she's experienced, right? She now mentioned things years in advance of the actual deadline to ease it in my head. I'm like, okay, Long, have you thought about kids? Long, have you thought about this? Years away.
I can do that. Have you thought about death, Long?
Death.
Yeah.
Death, I think about every day.
Oh my God, that is so dark. I was just joking. Oh my God. Maybe we can leave that for a different episode.
No, death. I mean, I think of death in a positive way, as a motivation. You know that saying that goes, if you die tomorrow, right? What would you be doing today? So I try to live
Making a podcast.
that way.
Perfect. So is it just kids then? In your 30s, that's the expectation.
Yeah, I think kids and a certain level of income, where you can support your family.
That is such an Asian kind of expectation, isn't it?
Yeah, and the male, you are the column of the house.
I love that. True God Zading.
You're the column, This house has only one column.
I'm thinking of like a non-Vietnamese, a Westerner listening to this at this point in time, and they'll be like, "What the hell? Is that kind of like some feng shui kind of thing?"
Yeah, is that the word column, right? The thing that supports the roof.
The pillar.
Yeah, you're the pillar of the house.
But what's the English expression for that? It's
head of the house.
Yeah, something. You're the breadwinner. You're the
Yeah. So it's very much like that Asian expectation, but definitely not in my case because me and Lan or Victoria, have we introduced her? So my fiance.
Well, she introduced herself by screaming at you for not doing the dishes.
For sneezing spontaneously. Yeah. Okay. So
Long,
she's.
If you're in any danger, give us a hint and we'll try to help you.
I'm fine.
Just cough, okay? Cough once if you're in danger. Cough 2 times if you're in real danger.
She's lovely, She's lovely.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll be listening.
Both me and Lan, we work, and there's no expectation that I will be the column of the house, which which I'd say it's relieving on my part. When you have that stress, or when you're the man, you have to do things.
Yeah,
it puts a burden on your shoulders, and you feel not nice.
It's sort of a relatively outdated mentality and expectation, do you think? And the reason why I say that is, given the rise of the middle class and women's involvement in the working force these days, and, just proliferation of education for all, the expectation is less so on just one single person to support the household.
Yeah, I'd say it's not outdated yet. It's getting outdated because gender inequality is still there, I think. And for as long as gender inequality is still there, there's an expectation of the male to be the column of the home. Right. Even in Vietnam, I've known many people who were single mom, who support their kid with no problem, who work. Even my mom was a single mom, and she worked and she was able to work and support. So definitely female or woman can be the column of the home. Home of the home.
Okay, so moving on then, what are the different expectations then of people in their 30s compared to people in their 40s, do you think?
Oh man, this is unknown territory.
Well, isn't it your territory?
I know. Let's start from the bottom. 60s, 70s first, right?
Why?
I think it's easier.
Oh, it's easier. It's more relatable to you. Okay, fine.
No, because I've seen my uncles and aunties, and they're in their 50s, 60s, something like that.
Okay.
And I see how they behave, and I can use that as a benchmark.
Okay,
right?
Cool.
So they are enjoying life now. They're retired.
Hooray!
Traveling.
Really?
Yeah.
Where they travel to?
Like wherever their kids are. So, for example, I have a cousin in England.
Oh,
Cardiff.
okay. They're in Cardiff at the moment.
Yeah. So
Oh.
uncle and auntie just traveled back and forth just to see grandchildren. So that's the life of old age.
That's cool. Okay.
I'd say that's a happy old age, right? You have the ability to travel overseas, see your families, etc., with no worries financially. In order to reach that, you have to work hard in your earlier years, which is your 40s. So I think that's where the bulk of the expectation is here. 40s. You're expected to earn big money.
That's the general expectation, but there's an increasing narrative on early retirement. So retiring
Yes.
when you're like in your 30s or something. But yeah, that's the general expectation.
That's if you invest in Bitcoin and then you can retire early.
Stop hyping it up.
Buy the dip.
Guys, guys, invest in Bitcoin responsibly.
We're not responsible for any of
Come
your
on.
losses.
Disclaimer. 40s to 50s. Come on then.
Yeah, so this is where I think people expect, what Vietnamese society expect, you are of certain success now.
Status, isn't it?
Yes. So you have 2 kids and one of your older kid.
And then the other older kid.
One of your kid is about to get married, something like that, right? So that when you're 40s, that's the situation that I'm thinking for most people here. Your older kid is prepared to get married. Now you have to have money in order to pay for the marriage cost, like the wedding cost and the honeymoon. And then now you are also expected to help your kid on career, on property ladder, how to pass funds down generations and also pass experience down. And then once you've done that, your kid can manage on themselves, you go and retire and you visit them. And that's it. That's a life cycle done.
And then would you have some sort of grandparent responsibility at this point in time?
If you manage to have a lot of money, then I think your grandparent responsibility is just restrictive to having fun and occasionally taking care of the grandchildren. Because, you pass all that money down to your kids, they can look after themselves and have a nanny or something like that.
And it's a scary milestone as well, because then you'll be like half a century old. 50 years old. That's a huge milestone.
Yeah. So the way you live your life right now, I think it's very much heavy on money making, right? And how much money can you make so that you can live comfortably later on. But we should be also enjoying life right now as it is.
What do you mean?
As in, do the things you love, do the things we love, enjoy doing, and not just working for money so that we can enjoy later on, right? I think most of people are sacrificing their younger years, working, prioritizing money making over enjoyment so that they can enjoy later. But the bulk of their life, which is 20s to 50s before retirement, is then spent doing something that they don't really enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different views, perspectives, and narratives around this. And of course, it has a lot to do with the whole issue of generational gap, right? The different expectations, but also upbringing of people in different eras. I mean, coming out of a war, I wouldn't blame my parents and my grandparents for approaching life in that way. So maybe this is for a different episode that we can talk about, the topic of generational gap, and also the perspective on how you want to live life. Some people want to prioritize just working really hard right from the start. And then if they retire early, then they can do whatever they want. That tends to be the rationale for those people. I wouldn't necessarily agree with that, simply because a lot of the strong relationships that you build are the ones that are earlier in your age. Are the ones that, you frequently meet them, you frequently talk to them, you're constantly facing challenges with these sort of people within the circles and the network that you have, and then you carry those relationships on through to the rest of your life. But, if you were to just focus solely on making money and being able to retire early, then it's number one, you're not relatable to a lot of people, and number two, relationships don't build that fast. You're gonna have to build, and you're gonna invest a lot of time in having meaningful personal relationships once you're retiring, quote unquote.
There are many ways to live life.
Yeah.
Like a game, right? Your character, you can build certain strength first because we have a character. There's so many ways we can go, so many skill set we can learn. It's just a matter of prioritizing which one we learn first in order to end the game happily.
But it's slightly different though, because every game has some sort of objective, right? You choose whichever scenario you want to go into, but then there's an objective of saving the princess, or beating the boss, or beating all the other teams, etc. Whereas in life, there's not really one set objective, and we all are pursuing different objectives in life, and just depends on what we want, right? How we see things as important or not important at a particular point in time.
Exactly. Objectives. I think that's key, what you just mentioned. So having clear goals, also long-term and short-term goals, what you want to achieve by, will make it clearer, I think, to achieve, rather than following society expectation that you have to work harder, get promoted, have a pension, have another house, and then you just follow the norm. But if you have your own set of tailored objectives and goals, like I want to retire not in 60 like everyone else, I want to retire in maybe 50, or maybe you want to retire in 65. You want to, because you love what you do, you want to continue working more. So then you need to tailor your goals and objectives accordingly.
Okay, so that's expectations in terms of different age gaps, then age brackets.
Yeah, that's it. I feel it's a little bit dark. It was, right? Age, old. So now let's move on to something.
Can you tell your grandparents that? See how they feel.
So
they're living life happily, traveling, and then you're just like, age, old.
No. Let's talk about something fun now.
Okay. Young.
Yeah. Birthday parties and birthday customs.
Hey, okay.
Which is something I really want to talk about. Which I asked my mom many times as well, but she just said, "What are you talking about, stupid?"
What?
Okay, so let's talk about this right now.
What? I don't know why, but your mom turned American there. What are you talking about, stupid?
Okay, yeah. So the thing that I asked my mom then was, when I go to my friend's birthday, can I give them money instead of a gift? All right. So this is birthday parties. Expectation is you give someone gifts, right?
Yeah.
Gift card is also considered money.
Yes, I got an Amazon gift card from you.
Which is I was testing my theory. It's like, okay, what if I... To be really honest, right? That's the first time... Is it the first time? Yes, that's the first time I ever gifted someone in monetary value.
Well, I appreciate me being your guinea pig.
So you can be the other side now. How do you feel?
Absolutely hated it. It's so low in value.
Wait.
Okay.
It's not that low in my in my view. So.
Okay, look. To be honest, it caught me by surprise. It's like, oh, there's an email. If I click on the link, I'll probably be invited to, I don't know, some epic escape room, some Harry Potter Hogwarts adventure or something. I clicked on it and I saw the face of myself 15 years ago, looking all scrawny and skinny. and it was an Amazon gift card. But then I thought about it. I was like, actually, this is super useful. It's so practical that I can actually buy anything that I want.
Exactly.
So it's quite similar to the Lunar New Year, what's it called? Hong Bao, or
Lucky money.
money tradition compared to Christmas, where we give each other presents, right?
Yeah. So the downside of that, what do you think is the downside of this giving money?
The downside of it, well, number one, is quite similar to Lunar New Year. So it's kind of like you're having two Lunar New Years.
Which is good.
Number two is a very exact quantitative measure.
Yeah.
And that just naturally makes you kind of think, okay, how should I also give the other person when it's their birthday? And that's the sort of mental benchmark in your mind kind of thing. The reason why I say that is because it happens all the time in Lunar New Year. I will go to someone's house, I will receive some money from their parents, and then after that, my parents will leave together with me, and then immediately my parents are like, all right, tell me, how much did they give you? Tell me, all right, okay, so they gave you this much. All right, so the next time when they come to our house, I'm going to give them this much as well. So, you know, it's kind of like, it's a weird custom, to be honest. It's kind of a weird custom. And then I think number three, it may come across as, oh, I didn't have time to think about it, so might as well give something a bit pragmatic, which is very useful as well.
I agree with that, actually. When you give money or you give gift card, it makes you appear like you are too lazy to think about a good present, right? But the truth is, thinking of a good present that suits the other person's taste or interest, it's hard. And when you buy the wrong things, it's a waste of money. And then they don't use it and they just throw it away after 5-6 years.
That's exactly the flip side to it. So let's talk about the flip side. You tell me what the flip side is to giving someone a present.
Okay, so in my mind, I'm thinking of an example here.
Yes, you are, because that was the question. Okay, I'm going to buy you some time. So for those who don't know, Convo Comrades used to be a weekly show. But over just the past 2 or 3 weeks, we turned it into a sort of bi-weekly / fortnight show. So every 2 weeks, we release an episode simply because Long finds it so painful, excruciating to edit the audio. And he couldn't do a weekly turnaround. It was so painful. So he advocated, he protested, and he fought for his rights not to edit Convo Comrades on a weekly basis. Now, you might think, oh, what do I do? Well, I do second edits, and also I do all the visuals, so all the Instagram posts and stuff. There is added pressure now for Long to make sure that whatever he says is smooth and fluent, so that he doesn't have to spend a lot of time in post-production trying to edit this audio. But actually, come to think about it, if this episode is long enough, we can split it into 2 different episodes. So we can have the first episode for this week and the second episode for that week. Maybe it is something that we can consider, Long.
Definitely.
So I think I've bought you a lot of time now, Long.
Wait.
What?
I think this is, I need to defend myself here.
Okay.
All right. I have not think of an example yet, but I need to
Oh
talk
my
about
God.
I need to talk about this edit. To be honest, we all thought that when we went into podcast, there'll be minimal editing, right? But turns out that I'm not a very fluent speaker.
Appreciate the honesty.
So to make up for that, we edit the ums and the ahs and the yeah.
Whoa, is that Lan? Hi, Lan.
No. So and that takes a lot of time, and we want to ensure you only listen to what is necessary, right?
So are you going to cut this whole section out?
No, this is essential to understand our process. So, but the point here is that we want you guys to listen to the best of quality of podcast, right? Not just noise.
So please give the content.
Okay, yeah. So we were talking about the downside of receiving or gifting a gift that is not money, a gift that you may not potentially like, and depends on your relationship with the gift giver, right? You will have to say, oh yeah, I loved it so much. And so, number 1, you don't like it. Number 2, the other person wasted money. Number 3, you're lying. So all of this is caused by a gift that is not money.
Yeah. It's all about custom and tradition and practice, isn't it? So, because Mango and I, we lead a sort of minimalist life. So we're very intentional in terms of what we own and what we have. Before moving to our new house, we threw away a lot of stuff because we just don't need it. You know, they've always been lying in the house. We never touch them, never, bring them out of the wardrobes and the closets at all. So to receive gifts from people, we're quite mindful of whether we need it or not. But of course, we can't say it to everyone. So this is kind of like an indirect way of me telling everyone.
Gift card.
Yeah. I'm not saying that, but I mean, the point here is, I guess it depends on different people's lifestyles, right?
Yeah.
How they want to own things, and whether they want to own things in the first place, because there's a huge narrative on minimalism, on, being environmental, being mindful of what you own, consumerism or anti-consumerism, so on and so forth.
I guess there's no one answer here, right? You have to see for yourself what the situation is, what the other person is feeling, and what is best for them. Maybe there's someone who appreciate little things, emotional attachment to a piece of, I don't know, piece of gift, ornament, a piece of ornament.
So like a souvenir, Big Ben souvenir.
if sometimes they're a Big Ben lover, so you don't give money because money doesn't give them that. Ooh.
Big Ben.
So depends on the situation, depends on the person. But I think very much in Vietnam. I mean, I haven't attended a lot of birthdays in Vietnam now that I'm working. I don't know what the situation is like, but I still feel that people still give physical things as opposed to money.
Okay. Did you attend a lot of birthdays back in when you were in Vietnam?
Yeah, lots of birthday, and we give.
Wait. Did you get that card? That standard
What card?
The national card.
What card?
Which says, "I'm so honored to invite you to my birthday. It's on this date at this time. Your presence is an absolute honor to me."
Of course, I get that all the time.
Remember standard Vietnamese writing?
Yeah.
Set của bạn là niềm vinh hạnh của tôi.
Yeah. And there's a fill in the blank, right, with our name.
Every single card in the whole country would have that. I have no idea who came up with that, but that guy should have so much money in terms of commission. Like, imagine he makes like 1,000 dong per card that's being issued. He's like the richest copywriter in the world.
All right, so I received a gift card and a birthday invitation card when I was small. And I received, and I also gave meaningless things.
You gave meaningless things?
Yeah.
What's the most meaningless thing that you gave?
A pen.
You gave someone a pen?
Unwrapped. So
tell me, wait. Tell me, was it a fountain pen at least?
No, it was like a
ballpoint pen.
Yeah. one ballpoint pen. And also,
did you go to the person's house, pick up a ballpoint pen in their house, and then just give it to them?
No, I'm better than that. So back then, my parents were on their motorcycle, right, and then they picked me up and dropped me off everywhere, right. So that night was the invitation for the birthday party. I have my invitation card at the address and time with me. Hopped on motorcycle, told my mom, "Oh wait, should I buy some present?"
You should.
And then my mom was like, "Yeah, you should." And then I was like, "Can we give them money?" "What are you saying, stupid?" and that's where the whole "what are you saying, stupid" came from. And then my mom thought of a solution. We stopped by a some sort of
stationery shop.
Yeah, stationery shop. And then my mom said, buy anything that your friend likes. then I took a ballpoint pen. The stationery shop doesn't do gift wrapping or something. Or maybe I didn't think of it.
I don't think they do, because in their mind, no one would go in there and buy a birthday present.
And then, the funny thing is, when I arrived at the scene,
at the scene. I love it. This is where the drama happens. Arrive at the scene.
So lots of other people having square shape and rectangle shape boxes with ribbons, right? Sparkly. And I have a ballpoint pen.
What if they have like, I don't know, they have an eraser inside?
Yeah, but no
They
one
might have an
knows.
eraser, yeah, you don't know.
Yeah, no one knows because it's concealed. But
Yeah.
I'm being honest here. I'm being transparent. Anyone can see my gift. So I give him, and he didn't look that impressed, but he was still happy. He's like, "Oh, okay, thank you."
Question:
Sure.
did you receive a birthday invitation next year?
I don't remember receiving
I don't think you did. You know what he did? He has a list of friends, and then he'll use a ballpoint pen to cross out your name.
The funny thing is, when we're in school, right, especially primary school, we're not allowed to use ballpoint pen.
What?
We're only allowed to use fountain pen, which is ink.
Okay, yeah,
It's state school, right? You don't go to primary school in Vietnam, right?
yeah.
Yeah, we were not allowed to use ballpoint pen.
Oh, so in your mind, ballpoint pen was like the rare commodity.
Yeah. We're like, you can use this now, not the cheap fountain pen that we have to use every day.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Okay, so that's the worst present that you ever gave. What's the best present that you ever received? I definitely put you on the spot. I don't want you to go through painful editing after this.
Okay, right. The only thing that comes to my mind, right, out of all the present
Yeah.
that spark memories in my head.
Mhm.
I'm sure I receive a lot of present from Lan, right? So you're great, Lan. You're great.
Oh, I love the caveat.
But the first thing that sparked with my mind was years ago when we had that escape room, some sort of experience. We all went, and then I went in expecting I have to pay, and in my mind it was expensive. And then when we went out to pay or something, I received a card. Say, "Oh, happy birthday," which is standard, you know. Okay, yeah, happy birthday, fine. And you don't have to pay for your escape room. So that was like really surprising for me. Oh my god.
That's amazing. I don't have to spend money on escape room on my birthday.
So that's when you said the best gift, that I just remember that moment where
I remember now. We went to the escape room that was the story was about a sheep, right?
yeah, sheep.
And there was like some crazy AR technology.
That's it.
Got you.
And so my thought when I was doing it was, it's expensive.
All right. Okay. Well, good for you then. I'm glad that we made your day.
How about you? Let's go back. Go to your turn now.
Okay, I'm not going to remember a terrible gift that I gave someone, but I do remember one of the best gifts that I ever received was when I was around 12 or 13 years old, and I was in Vietnam back then. And my friends gave me a Yu-Gi-Oh video game.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Do you know Yu-Gi-Oh?
Card.
Well, yes, but it's a video game. So we used to have cards, physical cards, but then they gave me a CD. It was, you know, those fake CDs that, you know, Vietnam, we used to have a lot of those fake CD games.
Yeah.
Which cost around like, just $10,000 or something. Whereas if you buy online, it would probably be like £10 or something.
Yeah.
So they gave me that, and then I put the CD into my computer. We were able to play Yu-Gi-Oh against a computer, which completely blew my mind. That's the sort of milestone in my life where, okay, it's the first time ever that I'm playing a video game on a computer, and I'm no longer playing physical games. From then onwards, there were so many games afterwards, and then, you know, the world became super digital from then. In my eyes, you know, everything changed because, you know, it used to be just football. It used to be card games. It used to be all sorts of physical games. But it was that day that it was the first time ever in my life that I went into a digital world to play games. And it was just mind-blowing. It was one of the best experiences ever. Even though now, if I were to play it again, it'd probably be a crap game. But back then, as a kid, you know, when you played, oh my God, mind blowing.
Maybe it's a boy thing, but I know that girls who do like playing games too. But
Yeah, nowadays, for sure.
yeah.
You have to target that segment. Okay, I think this is actually a good time to wrap up. We've hit the hour mark, so maybe we can continue the conversation in the next episode. Guys, let us know what your thoughts are on birthdays and perspectives and perceptions on age brackets and age groups. Join the community on Facebook and Instagram at Convo Comrades. Leave us a comment, leave us some feedback, and we'll see you in the next episode. As for now, bye-bye.